It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show. Alongside head coach John Cook.
Ooh, jump serve by McKenna Wooker. Good pass. Long shoots it. Wicked. Kaboom! Waking babies all over North Bottoms. 13-11 Huskers. Free ball by the libero. And the near kill until Lexi Rodriguez saved it. Unreal. Lexi Rodriguez kept it alive. It's 19-9. They're on their feet in Lincoln. Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve. Good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson. Kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs. 6-5 Nebraska. Krause fires off the block. Jousts at the net. Controlled by the Huskers. Again, Lindsay left pin for the match. She got it. 25-14 Huskers set 3. Sweep number 9 this year for Nebraska. And your Huskers are 15-0 and a perfect 6-0 in the Big Ten.
Here's your host, John Baylor, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Greetings, Nebraska. Hello, hello, and welcome to your regularly scheduled Wednesday night. Hold everything. Thursday night, 6 o'clock, Nebraska Volleyball Show on the eve of a football-free weekend when the Huskers play Friday night. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. start. A 6 p.m. start tomorrow. The revenge match against Michigan State. The Huskers defeated the Spartans last weekend in 3 up there. And then Saturday, don't peek ahead, one match at a time. Number 13, Penn State rolls in. Penn State is loaded. In fact, Penn State has won 8 matches in a row. And last weekend, they required 5 sets to subdue Indiana and Ohio State at home. They're first in the conference in blocks with nearly 3 blocks per set. Third in both hitting percentage and opposing hitting percentage. Jess Mruzik is now a Penn State Lion. She's averaging 4.4 kills a set. Mac Pedraza, arguably the best setter in the conference, 10.1 assists per set. And this is the resumption of one of the great rivalries in certainly volleyball, maybe all of sport. Nebraska and Penn State. The Huskers have owned this series of late. Think of all the great matches, but all time the Big Red 26-11. They've won their last 5. And the Big Red 12-1 in the last 13 matches, going back to 2015 against the Lions. You can thank Kelly Hunter for a lot of those wins. She was 7-0 as a starting setter for the Big Red. The last time Penn State won here in Lincoln was 2013. So many great matches when the Navy and the Scarlet surround a net. We'll have that one for you on Saturday night as the Penn State Lions are here at 7 o'clock. So tomorrow night, Michigan State at 6, the revenge match. And then number 13, Penn State at 7 on Saturday night. I'm John Baylor. You want to chime in? 402-413-2400. This is your Nebraska Volleyball Show. 402-413-2400. You got a little stage fright? Just text us. I'll try to get your question on here. This one's brought to you by Woodhouse. The Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient locations. And we're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. And Acres brings you the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Acres is the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Acres, solutions for every field. Let's bring in the 24-year head coach of Nebraska Volleyball, John Cook. Good evening.
Good evening, JB.
How are you, sir?
Outstanding, but improving.
Nice. Hold everything.
Hey, I got a question for you, though.
Okay.
We're playing at 6 tomorrow night?
6 tomorrow.
Are you sure about that?
I'm looking at the schedule right here.
That's the first I've heard of that, but
well,
what do I know?
Michigan State tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Don't blame radio.
Really? Wow. You sure that's not?
The next time radio changes a start time will be the first.
Can we get Lindsay on the phone here? It's the first I've heard about
Lindsay,
that.
she's driving back to her farm south of town. She's probably going through Princeton right now.
Yeah. So anyway, what are you going to ask me?
If your day is okay.
Yeah.
I think that's everything going all right. You said you're outstanding, but you're improving. Help me out with a translation. So you're already solid, but you're getting
we're still improving. Always trying to get better. That was the theme today in practice. How are we going to get better today in our 90-minute practice?
Nice.
So,
that's the theme every day, Coach.
Yeah, but
today specifically.
Today is a day that human nature says, "Oh, we might just get through practice today because we got 2 matches." And
you ever concerned about that, Coach? A little malaise? I mean, not only are we halfway through the season and the doldrums might set in. It's already 15 matches, 8 weekends. But I remember you guys had this wild trip to Brazil, and you've been talking about that. And then before that, you had this the spring season. You played that match over Central City in that dome. Remember that amazing high school dome they have there in Central City? And then before that, you played a beach season.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was the holidays. I mean, you've been going and going. Any chance this team is showing small signs of burnout?
No. I gave Monday off, and they're all
one day.
They couldn't wait to get back in the gym. They're
Really?
Like, oh yeah, they're like, these guys are gym rats.
Nice.
Yeah,
Were
they love being in the gym. It's almost, you get more out of them when you starve them a little bit.
Nice. Did they tell you, Coach, stop with the days off? We've had it with enough with the days.
That's kind of what some of them alluded to. They said it was nice, but they miss being in the gym.
Well, even if you wanted to have them on Monday, you couldn't, right? Like, you couldn't be with them. They could practice on their own,
No,
right?
we could have practiced Monday. Yeah.
So you gave them Sunday off.
Sunday and Monday off. They had 2 days off.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
All right, sure. And why did you decide to give them 2 straight days off?
4 matches on the road,
Yeah.
and I just thought we had a whole week here. Next week we play Wednesday, so you can't really take a Monday off. So they'll get they'll get Sunday off again. So it just kind of worked out, and just go with my gut.
Coach, I've been hearing from some fans. They're very hopeful that more Husker serves will go in the future.
So am I.
Have you shared those hopes with the players?
Yeah. We share that every day.
No, a lot of these, maybe it's just half of them, seem to be going over the net and long. You'd prefer that, right?
We
You don't want them
prefer
to-
that, yeah.
Okay.
They get underneath it and it goes up.
And here's a crazy thought: back them up a little bit.
Yeah.
On
Well,
the serve.
we're always trying, just like your golf game, we're always trying to fine tune it.
Don't compare Husker volleyball with my golf game. That is an insult. Meanwhile, to the Husker volleyball. Meanwhile, back to just the aerodynamics and effectiveness of a serve. If you were to back a player up, couldn't she hit it a little harder? Might it then be a little more difficult to pass?
We backed Laney up, and did you notice a difference?
I will focus on that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So
She's back up to where she used to be.
I know why I haven't noticed. She hasn't been serving much
Well,
recently.
that's and we backed her up, and it wasn't going great. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you're moving her up a little bit.
yeah, we moved her back up.
Okay.
She moved herself back up.
All right, Harper specifically.
She also moved herself back originally.
Okay.
And now she's moved herself back up.
Gotcha.
So
And that's what got her benched a little bit, at least for serving, because you had Lindsay back there. How's Lindsay done serving?
well, you saw her. I mean, she had a good weekend serving.
Conference Player of the Week, 2
Yeah.
aces on Friday, 2 aces on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, serving again. It's all, you're just living on the edge. How tough can you serve and keep it in?
For Harper, her challenge is primarily mental when serving at this point.
Well, no, it's always technical with these guys. So it's something they're doing to cause that. They're tossing it wrong, or their footwork's wrong, or they're not in a rhythm, or they're not consistent with their toss. So I can assure you we work on it every day and have worked on it every day, every practice in 2023. Every time we step across the line, we work on serving. And they hear this all the time. The most important drill we're going to do today is serving.
Everyone who's been around the game for decades says that serving is the biggest difference in the game today from the game in the 1980s.
Yeah. Yep.
How so?
Well, the ball's different, first of all. We used to play with those white touch cars. Remember in the old days? You see the white balls, and they were easy to pass. The balls now we're playing, and we played with 3 different balls in the last 2 weeks. So we played with
touching.
Wilson, Adidas, which is Baden, and Molten. So 3 different balls. They're all different. So again, you'd be like you haven't hit 3 different golf balls.
So
Don't you have a golf ball you like?
the one that goes on the green,
Yeah.
and then in the hole.
Yeah.
I'm almost grabbing them out of ponds and stuff and getting them for free.
So anyway, every gym's different. Wind's different.
But that was the case back in the 90s.
Yeah.
The variety, so there's more variety of volleyballs today. Back then it
Yeah.
was a little more uniform. I
Yeah.
trust you'd like to see a single ball for the whole sport.
Yeah, I've already tried to do that, but it didn't fly.
Because every athletic department wants their own deal with their own provider.
No, the NCAA didn't want to even look at it because they must have a deal. So we actually wanted to use a molten ball, which they have a deal with. And I said, my proposal was let's use the same ball which is actually with the ball the men play with. So the men all play with the same ball. So why can't the women all play with the same ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Crickets.
everybody has the same ball. It's
Okay.
molten, which they already have the contract with.
Yeah.
And the molten ball is the truest ball. The men's ball is a true ball, and it doesn't have panels on it. It's got like a web netting. It's a great ball. Our players love playing with it. It's not only played in the men's game, it's played all over the world with it. And, you know, we got all these different balls we got to play with here. The companies that don't even.
So in basketball, men and women play with different size balls.
Yeah.
But in volleyball, they play with the same size balls, but different manufacturer.
Yeah. Yep. So.
And you guys would like to go with the men's ball.
I would love to go with the men's ball. Our players it'd be.
What makes one volleyball so much preferable?
It's first of all, that the men's ball lasts longer. It's the way it's designed, the way it's built. It's a truer ball. He actually can hit it a little bit harder. It still moves. I just think it's a great ball.
Huskers are now 15-0. Penn State's got Iowa tomorrow night. Presumably they're going to show up undefeated in the conference, winners of 9 in a row. That's going to be a tremendous showdown. Tori in Norfolk wants to know, are you going to ever release a book of the drills you use in practice? And where have you come up with them? Are they borrowed drills from other coaches, or have you developed them all on your own? What about the drills you use in practice?
Yeah, that's a really cool question. Never been asked that before.
Tori in Norfolk.
Yeah. So when I grew up, you know, John Wooden was the coach at UCLA, and he kept every practice plan in a notebook every year. So when I started coaching, I write out all of our practices. I write all the drills, do everything, the whole flow of practice, and I've kept every practice plan for every year. I got it all in binders. So, and then I make notes every day. So like I made notes after practice today, and then I can go back and look, what did we do a year ago? What were we doing? What was the practice like? How were they tired? Were they really fresh? Were freshmen struggling? Those are all a lot of the comments that I put in there. But most of the drills we have are core drills that we've been using for years. We tweak them. We adjust them over time. Jordan actually brought in a new drill we call 4x4 Slam Jam. The girls love it.
4x4 Slam Jam.
Yeah, it's a fun drill, but it's a really good drill to teach the game and teach vision and stuff. So we added one. So if we see a good drill we really like, we'll do it. But I can tell you, if you look at my practice plans, if you ask Jordan, Kelly, pretty much they can tell you at what time we're doing what drill. It hasn't changed much.
Is the practice moving every minute, or is there downtime?
Well, we take breaks for water.
But that's it.
That's it.
You go from, what do you call it, station to station, or for drill to drill? What do you call it?
Yep, we're moving. We have 3 courts where we're working on, and eventually we'll all come together on 1 court.
Because you got a limited amount of time.
Right.
When you watch a practice and there's downtime, like, missed opportunity,
right.
Waste of time.
Waste of time. I watched some of the USA. So Jordan sent me the video of the Slam Jam we talking about.
4x4 Slam Jam.
When I first watched it, I thought, okay, we're not going to do this. These guys are just kind of going through the motions. They're messing around. Okay, we did it, and a minute they were getting after it, competing, screaming through the net, because it's kind of a trash talking type drill.
Nice.
It's kind of mano-a-mano.
Nice.
And so anyway, our players, they're just like, when can we do it? When can we do it? We get to do it tomorrow? So anyway, occasionally we'll get a new drill and we'll incorporate it, or we'll tweak our other drills, or we'll tweak the scoring, and then so we have variety.
So a 90-minute practice, how much break time is there? How much downtime is there? Water breaks. 2 minutes for a water break?
Well, typically a water break is about a minute.
Okay, so you go, what, 15
We probably
minutes?
did 4 water breaks today.
So you go 15 minutes straight, 1 minute water break, 15 minutes straight?
I can tell you right now. You really want to know?
Yeah.
I mean, you think the radio show really wants to know this?
Tori
The
from
truckers,
Norfolk wants
the
the
guys,
book.
the guys on combines. You think they want to know this?
Exactly. They pull out a notebook right now.
I hear it's maybe snowing out west.
Really?
So yeah, it snowed in Wyoming. So anyway, we went 30 minutes, took a water break. We went another 15 minutes, took a water break, and then we went about another 30 minutes, took a water break, and then we finished practice.
Those water breaks are like 1 minute each.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So they're just going.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably your best advice for other coaches. No more downtime.
Yeah, and the only reason we took a couple of those little water breaks, and we had to adjust, like we put up elastic on the net, we had to take that down. So a lot of our water breaks are timed with setting up the court for the next drill.
Molly is a piccolo player in the Big Red Express pep band. Her question for both of us, Coach, is what are our favorite tunes that the pep band plays? Now, you're focused on the pep band during matches, probably. Like, what are some of your best tunes? I'll start. You think. I'll start.
You go.
You know that
I'm
song?
missing when a couple years ago we had the guys on guitar jamming.
Yeah,
They're
what
playing
happened
Red
to
Hot
those
Chili
guys?
Peppers, Pearl
I
Jam.
think the brass dudes kicked those dudes out because they were getting all the attention.
Yeah. But I know it's the fight song, and
I like the
I
fight
really don't really know much else.
They play that song, Be Quiet and Dance With Me.
Okay.
It's got other words.
I don't
I
know.
like that one.
I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
But Purdue had some sweet tunes.
Yeah.
These are, I think the old Husker band should kind of just tune into the radio broadcast and steal some of the stuff other guys are doing.
Yeah.
Because they have tons of talent.
Yeah.
The Big Red Express.
Yeah, they do.
402-413-2400. I'd love to see them play more.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too much actual, recorded music. I mean, I'm not a Swiftie, but I like Taylor. But I think we could go with a little more Big Red Express. What do you think?
JB, I really don't even
not
pay
your-
attention.
It's not your number one focus.
I don't. I really can't even tell you, what we're playing and what's happening. So.
All righty, 402-413-2400. We'll see if we get any more piccolo players the rest of the show. Stay right there. You're listening to your Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Something big is happening. Introducing Hy-Vee Perks. Now, Hy-Vee Fuel Saver is Hy-Vee Perks. Get the same great benefits like fuel savings. Plus, save even more on hundreds of products store-wide with Hy-Vee Perks prices like Tide. H Perks price, $9.97. And bananas. H Perks price, 39 cents a pound. Make the switch or sign up for Hy-Vee Perks and start saving today. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Both farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every year, every season presents a new opportunity. That is nothing new. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, embrace new opportunities. They focus on their roots and continue to stand strong with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperatives relies on their value of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. When you choose Aurora Cooperative, you're choosing a winning team that's dedicated to the success of our local farmers. Go Big Red and go Aurora Cooperative.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. I'm John Baylor. There's the head coach, John Cook, Molly, Piccolo player, Big Red Express pep band has started a firestorm. Fans are checking in with tunes. They want the pep band, the Big Red Express pep band, to play during volleyball matches. Coach, what do you got?
All right, Molly. Well, the impression that I get by the mighty boss tone.
Can you play a little bit of that? Play that into the.
Let's get
hear
it on
that
here.
The microphone there.
Yeah.
What is this song?
We used to play it. I don't know if we still are, but this is a fun song to get the crowd going.
All right, slow down. What's the name of this thing?
I think there's piccolo, notes in there.
Oh, you get piccolo players will go crazy in this tune.
Yeah. Okay.
Whole fans will go wild. The whole B section will be like, give us more piccolo. We got to have more piccolo.
So, Molly, you need to have some pull here.
Yeah.
I want you guys to come up. I'm going to challenge you guys.
Yes.
Okay, in college. You got to dream big now.
Nice.
Okay? The impossible is possible. I want you guys to come up with a Zach Bryan revival song that he does at the end of his shows.
Is the name of the song Revival?
It's called Revival.
Okay.
It's an awesome song. I'd love to see the band crank on that. You'd be blowing the roof off of the Vanny.
Does the pep band need to pick up their game a little bit?
I think so. I think it's times are changing. We got
Dan checking in with a text saying we got to have more Sweet Caroline. Look, we got to have some more. That's a good one. I'm in with Dan on that one. So if anyone has any suggestions, what can the pep band put together? I mean, we got 24 hours till tomorrow.
Yeah. Molly, let's get it done. Let's get it done. See what you can do. You're a college student. Figure it out.
We got some more texts flying in here. Anonymous wants to know, hey, before every game, Lauren always mentions passing as a key for a Husker victory. Is there a metric for passing, or is it more of a succeed or just fail type of thing? Yeah, what kind of metrics do you use for passing?
Think of a baseball efficiency, like a batting efficiency or fielding efficiency. You're a baseball guy. Fielders have what? If they field at 90%, that's pretty good. And
big league level.
If you hit it 300, that's pretty good. Well, we have a passing efficiency. If you can pass a 2.8, we're doing really, really good.
And what's the max, 3.0?
No, the max is 4.0.
That's right.
So 2.8, if we can beat 2.6, 2.8 this weekend, I'll be pretty happy.
And what does Lexi pass?
But I can tell you right now, Michigan State, I think we were 2.0. That's not a good night passing.
What's Lexi on a normal night? 2.7? Okay,
so Lexi is the #1 rated passer in the country right now. They do on Volleymetrics, they do a deal on the best passers, and she was last year as well. She's passes about a 3.1.
Wow.
Which, nobody else doing
Why do
that.
teams keep serving her? They keep serving her this year.
It's hard not to. I mean, it's because we put her in spots so it's easy to get her the ball, so she can go get the ball. So we want her to pass as much as we can. So we created a system to try to get her more reps.
So she can cover more territory.
Yeah.
Half the court?
Yeah.
More?
It doesn't. We don't stand her out there by herself, but she's trying to take as many balls as we can. I would say she has responsibility for about 2/3 of the court in every rotation.
Wow, but she has 2 other players with her.
Right.
But 2 players are taking 1/3,
Yeah.
and Lexi's taking 2/3.
We want her to pass more. I almost want to tell her, like, hey,
Take the whole court.
Yeah, we're going to base your meal money on how many balls you pass.
Here's Kevin.
John, that's legal now. That's legal. NIL, anything goes.
2 years ago, I'm hitting the 10-second pause button on that comment. Here's Kevin in Omaha. Kevin, welcome. You're on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hey, Kevin.
Thanks, guys. I have a comment. I think I've been watching you guys and listening to you guys since Lauren Cook came on board. I believe this is your deepest team that I've seen. Now, I'm not a coach, but in my opinion, I've never seen a team in Nebraska this deep into the bench. Then my question is this. I follow the live stats. I have since they became available on every game you guys play. And in the upper right corner, there are always 2 percentages. One I know, SO percent is side out percent. But what is PS percent? And JB, don't tell me that's Penn State percent. I won't believe it.
No, it's
Okay,
good.
I'll hang up and listen to that.
Thanks so much.
Great question. That's point scoring. So we got side out percentage and then what our point scoring is. And usually it's pretty close to a flip of, I should take that back. So the side out is the percent we sided out. If we can side out at 65%, that's a good night.
When receiving serve.
Yeah, so when we're receiving. When we're serving, we want to try to point score at 45%.
Okay, so the point scoring percentage is solely on points that you initiate. You're serving.
Right.
Okay.
That's how it breaks down.
And what's more important?
And the old days, John, was side out scoring, which I bet you he is aware.
Oh, yeah.
He knows about side out scoring. Probably a lot of the people that were at the stadium match don't know what side out scoring is, but that's where you'd also really do it because you could only score a point when you served. So
it meant more then.
Right now, it's not as important. But our metrics are 45% point scoring, 65% side out.
45-65, 45-65. All right, got it. Here is Gene in Omaha. Hey, Gene, welcome. You're on the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Hey, guys. I'm calling from Omaha, and we drove to both of those matches last weekend in Michigan and had a blast, but there's no place like home. I mean, the Devaney is just miles ahead of the 2 venues that we watched the volleyball matches from last week. And it was interesting because a lot of the tickets that they had sold were to club volleyball teams, like younger girls. One of the ladies in front of us bought up 100 tickets at Michigan just to kind of fill the seats. And at East Lansing, when Nebraska pulled ahead, the crowd just left. And so it was really telling how wonderful we have it in Lincoln.
Well, Gene, that's a great compliment by you, and you're absolutely right. But here's the good news is both those were records, attendance records for Michigan State and Michigan. So, and then the week before, Indiana, first time they had sold out. Now I think they broke it last night, or is today Thursday? Yeah, last night against Purdue came to Indiana. I think they broke our record that we set last week.
And they won over Purdue.
Yeah. So I told you Indiana's good, but Gene, you're right. It's volleyball is growing, and to see that many people. There's almost 8,000 at Michigan. To see that many on a 8:30 match, first of all, the same time the football team was playing, and they had a hockey match going on right next door,
and women's soccer.
Yeah, and so that just shows you. I think our stadium match has inspired a whole new generation of fans that want to go see volleyball, because you're seeing this all over the country. Even in Division II, they're breaking records. All over the country, people are breaking attendance records. So it's. I think it all started with that stadium match, and I keep telling our players, it's an honor to play when we get that many people showing up. But you're right, Devaney, and just like for football, I mean, our people here are awesome, and they do a great job of event management and making it a special time.
Michigan State won that second set against Nebraska early on in the fourth set, people were leaving.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen at the venue. Unless it's going the other way and folks are trying to get in their cars for the post-match conversation where they honk.
True.
Buckle up, put the phone down. That's just a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. And get a 5-cent per gallon discount using a CVA fuel card for a limited time. Register for a fuel card and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game at CVAcoop.com. That's CVAcoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. More Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program. I'm recruiting for the team, and I want it to be the finest team in America. I'm looking for someone like you to be a teammate's mentor, someone who is willing to reach out to a child and make a difference. Meeting with a student once a week at school can make an impact in their life and in the community. We want you to join our team. Go to teammates.org to apply today.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Everyone remembers Nebraska's national championships and Heisman Trophy winners. Most people also know Nebraska holds the record for the longest home sellout streak. But did you know Nebraska also leads the nation with 351 academic All-Americans? Or that Nebraska has more today's top 10 award recipients than any school in the country? Beardmore Subaru is proud to support and celebrate Husker athletics and Nebraska student athletes again this season. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the 3-row 2024 Subaru Ascent. It's the biggest SUV we've ever made. Love is now bigger than ever.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. more powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Welcome back to the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Molly, the piccolo player in the Big Red Express band, has just taken this show by storm. We hope she's not going back to her homework yet. We want her to keep listening because we got more suggestions for new tunes the Big Red Express pep band could play at Husker volleyball games. Coach.
Okay, Molly, I think you guys could do this.
Play Thunderstruck, yeah.
I mean, I think you guys have done it in football.
Really?
You guys would blow this in Revival, and you're already playing Impression, I get, so... All right.
With a light show at the same time.
Oh,
Coordinated.
yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Extend the pregame. The pregame is not long enough. Read it.
We would
Take
get,
longer
we
to
would
introduce
get your
players.
piccolo on a big amplifier. You could just blow the roof off.
Put the piccolo section in front of a big amp. And the band director's got to get more piccolo.
Yeah.
Mike in Omaha. Mike, great to have you. You're on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Mike. Mike, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Hang on, Mike. Mike, we got you. Welcome. You're on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Great. Hey, Coach, got a question about topspin and unforced errors. And it's been my observation, topspin's a big tennis thing, as is a split step. You didn't think I'd mention that, did you?
Oh, no. I'm actually doing split steps right now and listening.
It's a great exercise.
Yep.
Listen, in tennis, I'll give you an example. Roger Federer, I watched him pretty closely, #1 in the world for 5 years in a row. In big points, you could tell he was putting more topspin in where he could be aggressive but not make an unforced error. And it's been my observation watching Wisconsin that they tend to have a little more topspin than we do. Do we have some players that hit with more topspin than other players on our team? What do you think?
Well, topspin is a jump serve, so you're jumping and actually spiking it, and that's where you get the spin in. Indiana had 3 jump servers. Michigan State will have a jump server tomorrow night. Jordan Larson, who was the best jump server we've ever had, as soon as she went to the national team, they converted her to a float server just because the women don't really hit it hard enough to stress passers. They're more stressed by float serves because the float serves are like knuckleballs in baseball. So
yeah, I'm not talking about serves. I'm talking about going for winners, either the sharp angle or deep, where a little more topspin will keep it in as opposed to keeping it out by a few inches.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems to me Wisconsin's really good at getting a lot of topspin and making fewer unforced errors.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, we have some players that do it better than others. And can you do it on big points? Make sure you have that margin of error. That's what I'm getting at. Just like in tennis.
Yeah. Well, you know, the challenge is you have to hit high and hard, and you're right, put top spin on it with your wrist, but you can also pull it down low in the block. Wisconsin's got good players. That's why you see them doing good things. But, yeah, that's something that, you know, as we say in recruiting, you know, you want to recruit outside hitters and players that have great arms, and that's what they do really, really well.
Great question, Mike. So when an outside hitter attacks, typically it's a line drive. But you're talking about a roll shot.
No. We're talking about when you hit the ball, they're putting top spin on it. But actually, the hardest balls to dig are ones that you move. You put a little side spin on it. So if you watch Merritt, when she hits out of the back row, she'll move that ball to a sideline. Those balls are hard to dig.
So they're not
the balls that are hit straight hard are easier to dig. The balls that have movement on them, even side movement, are. And if you watch Asian teams, which you have, you've been to China with us and Japan. I mean, because they're smaller, they train moving the ball, not hit because they can't kill balls with power. Americans can kill balls with power.
So the ball will intentionally draw or intentionally fade. So it's moving horizontally, not just downward.
Yeah. So if I hit at you and I move the ball like a slider, it's going to move. That's a hard ball to dig coming that close. If I hit it just straight at you, you just pop it up.
Dave in Lincoln, Nebraska. Hello, Dave. You're on the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Hello. New to volleyball. Coach, last 4 games, I've noticed that it takes the girls' first game to really get warmed up and start playing. Have you noticed that, and what can you do about it?
Oh, hell yeah, I've noticed it. we talked about it today in practice. That,
it's going to hurt us down the line if we keep doing that.
You're right. And
I think.
It's a part of it is we're playing players. We're starting 4 players. This is their first time going through the Big Ten. Playing, those are all road matches in very stressful environments with record crowds, with fans right on top of them, and it's just part of them learning how to manage, playing well, manage all the outside interference, and then playing against a really good team. So there's a lot going on there, and that's just something as we get more experience and get more comfortable, we'll get better at it.
Good stuff. Thanks, Dave. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock start. The Huskers, the revenge match against Michigan State. The Huskers needed 4 sets to defeat Michigan State last weekend up there. And then number 13, Penn State, 7 o'clock on Saturday. Back to serving, Coach. Mike in Grand Island wants to know, do all courts have equal distance from the end line to the fan seating, or for that matter, background that may affect the server on the road?
Yeah, these guys are dialing in some questions tonight. I feel like we're at MIT or somewhere.
This is the Caltech of volleyball right here.
So, actually, that is true. Every gym is different. The length is different. The markings are different, and how much room they have is different. So, several of our players have mentioned so I'll just give you an example. One of our players at Michigan had. I mean, you could go back 30 feet if you wanted to.
Beyond the end line.
Right. In Devaney, you really can only go back there maybe 12 feet. It's pretty tight. So all of a sudden, I'm like, when one of our players serving, like, what are you doing? You're like starting so deep. And she goes, well, I just don't want to serve it out, and I got all this room. But she just, her spatial awareness was off because the gym is so deep, long. Not wider, but it's the length. So she didn't know where to start. In our gym, they all know where to start because they do it every day, and they have the markings back there, and they can figure out the letters and their footwork, and they know where the chairs are. When it's just like a black hole, so it threw them off at Michigan. It's one of the reasons we missed quite a few serves.
Question coming in from another anonymous listener. To what extent do you use sports psychology? Do you have all the players work generally with psychology support, or is it more specific to a player that is requesting the support?
We could do a whole hour show on that. There's all different versions of...
Do like a Jerry Lewis telethon deal.
Yeah.
Just you and I, just 24/7. Raise dough and talk about split steps.
Yeah. Mike would like that.
He'd be tuned in.
Is Molly texting back in? I need to hear from Molly. She might be at studying.
She's got a calc final tomorrow or something.
To try to make a short answer, there's a couple of different variations of sports psychology. So there's high performance. There's the mental health part. There's the part of working on your breathing, mindfulness, controlling anxiety. In the mental health part could be all kinds of things, relationships to handling stress to, struggling with something. So you got all these little kind of categories for all that. So we have a sports psychologist that works with our players, and it's not something that you mandate. It's something that's offered to them, and they take advantage of it. But it could go all kinds of different ways. We also, with our team, we're working on some of those things within our program with our strength coach and within our team, working on how to handle, how do you get tough? How do you have a lot of grit at 24/24? Those things. And a lot of that's training that in practice. It's talking about it. How do you manage your recovery and how do you manage your failure? And that's another big thing. How do you manage that? So we work on that within our team. Our sports psychologist, Dr. Haskell, is works with them individually, and it could be, who knows, I don't know what it is because I don't get reports on that, but there's all kinds of different areas that they could be working on.
Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it is the law. And this one's also brought to you by Dorothy Lynch. Home style, light, and lean dressing. Endless flavorabilities, Dorothy Lynch. 413-2400. That's 402-413-2400 if you want to be on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. More after this.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Winning a new truck playing trucks and bucks from the Nebraska Lottery changes a person. I used to drive around hills. Now I drive over them. I used to hate helping friends move. Now I can do it in one trip. I used to own my own tech company. Now I'm on the professional rodeo circuit. Actually, I'm going back to tech. Bulls are really mean, and I just don't look good in chaps.
Play trucks and bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Did you know that Lincoln's water is 4 times more hard than what is recommended? This will shorten the life of your water heater, harm pipes through mineral buildup, and is bad for your hair, skin, and clothes. What's the solution? A water softener. Go online to jhlincoln.com to learn more about water softeners and our flexible financing offers, or call John Henry's
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
All right. Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. We're sending word out. We want Molly, the piccolo player, on the pre-game show tomorrow night. It's a 6 o'clock first serve. Pre-game is going to be during drive time, 5 p.m. Nebraska and Michigan State. Then Penn State the next night. One of the great rivalries in volleyball. Thank goodness the Huskers are playing Penn State twice this year. It's been a long time. And you're playing Wisconsin twice this year, Minnesota twice. I know that's tough on the coach, but it makes the fans happy, Coach.
Yeah. We have the toughest schedule in the Big Ten, so there's no question about that because we're playing all those teams. Now, what's interesting is, we only play Indiana once. Indiana right now is probably the surprise team in the conference.
Unranked,
and we had to play them there. And I think people just assume, it's Indiana. Look out,
Cameron Hayward.
They had Penn State at Penn State on the ropes last week. So they're a very good team, a surprise team. But yeah, Rutgers just beat Minnesota. You better not take anybody too light in this conference.
Indiana had Nebraska on the ropes a couple weeks ago. Yeah. They're tough.
Right. So it's anyway. It's every weekend's going to be great and fun and challenging, and you're right. It's hard on coaches.
You've prepared, obviously, for Penn State. Is Stanford the most talented team we've played all year, or is Penn State arguably the most talented?
I both throw them in the same boat. They're both very physical, very talented.
Stanford's back up to number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
They took down Washington State last week. They're loaded.
Yeah, great win. I heard they did that without Sam Francis, too.
Really?
That's a heck of a win. Washington State's been, they were top 5. Talk about a program that does a lot with little.
Great point.
I mean, you got to give Bill Moose credit. He made a great hire hiring Jenny. Well, her name is Jenny Green, I think. I can't remember what her married name is. But she's done a heck of a job there. And
Pac-12 has got 3 teams in the top 5, but they barely even have a conference.
Yeah, I know. And I think the other program that Jalen and I were just talking about this today is Utah. Utah, you know, they have a hard time out recruiting BYU in state, but man, they're
every year
they pull off wins and they pull off upsets. And
Beth Lanier,
I can't even tell you one player on their team, and they had Danny Drews for a while, which is awesome. But every year they're just right there.
I'd say Beth Lanier might be the most underrated coach in the country.
I would agree with you. And another program that I think does overachieves, volleyball-wise. You think Utah?
You think Michigan, Northwestern, Duke, these would be powerhouses in volleyball. But you wouldn't think like Washington State and Utah. Coaching is just in every sport, but maybe especially volleyball, coaching.
Yeah. So, but, and then, Louisville. Dane's done a heck of a job there. And look at Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh was nothing. And, I mean, they've been a couple Final Fours now. And so it's cool to see around the country these programs that are building and rising up. And it's great for the sport because it creates parity across the country.
Here's Mark in Omaha. Hey, Mark, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Mark.
Much wrapping up the
Go ahead, Mark. We got you. Sorry.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We got you.
Oh, is this live here?
Yeah, you are
live.
This is it.
You're live. You want Thunderstruck playing here or what?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
They even knew my name. That scares me here.
Yeah.
Hey, this has to do with on the blocking part. When I watch them, are the girls taught to slide their feet like in basketball, where where you get down and then you slide across the net? I know it's pretty important where they go shoulder to shoulder, but I notice some run, like Becca runs pretty quick. But usually I watch them, they slide their feet like they do in basketball. Is that how you run?
Yes, we train a couple different footwork patterns. One is turn and run, one is shuffle. It just depends on the situation, the time, and where they're at and what they have. So we train both of those, train it every day, and it's part of, blocking is a very difficult skill, very difficult. And it's a good observation by you. But Becca's one of the best blockers in the country. She tries to turn and run as much as she can. Turn, run, and jump, but she will also shuffle as well.
Tonight's Nebraska Volleyball Show brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. It's your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Michigan State tomorrow. It's an early start, Coach, 6 o'clock. Boy, start times have been moved all over this season in match after match, middle of the day, late afternoon, early evening, late night, and then a regular 7 p.m. start against Penn State on Saturday night. Is everybody healthy?
So as of today, everybody was fired up, doing well, and they were spunky today.
With Lindsay's emergence, Conference Player of the Week, pretty much all your positions solidified?
JB, it's week to week, baby.
Week
to week. Somebody said it's one of the deepest teams we've had. We got competition. It's week to week.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, JB, they're going to be fired up to play this weekend. It'll be fun.
And the Big Red Express pep band will be as well.
Yeah.
New material tomorrow night.
I'm going to be listening tomorrow. In fact, I might just go sit over there and listen.
Hey, Molly, the piccolo player on the pregame. That's head coach John Cook. Thanks for tuning in. I'm John Baylor. This has been your Nebraska Volleyball Show until tomorrow night against Michigan State. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 3, 7, or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 3, 7, or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier Checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
I learned a lot of sayings from my dad. One of them was, do one thing, do it better than anyone else. At Dakota Mac, that one thing is long-term, fixed-rate loans for ag real estate. If you're considering expanding your ag operation or restructuring your debt, give Dakota Mac a call. They'll be happy to walk you through your options.
Hi, it's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Call me at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Good evening. I'm David Swotek, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Husker soccer had a game earlier today and dominated against Maryland, winning 3-1 at Barbara Hibner Field. Forward senior Eleanor Dale led the team in offense, scoring 2 out of the 3 goals. Nebraska heads to Minneapolis on Sunday to face off against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Also, let's take a look at MLB scores for tonight's playoff games. The Atlanta Braves heads over to Pennsylvania for Game 4 against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies lead the series 2-1 and hope to shut down the Braves tonight. And the teams that have already stamped their ticket to the championship series are the Texas Rangers, Houston Astros, and Arizona Diamondbacks. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here's the snap back to Reggie Love. He gets hit at the goal line, and a ball might have popped out. I don't think he made it in there. Nebraska's black shirts have put together a goal line stand and will take over at the 1-yard line. Husker volleyball sent to the left. Krause again. Unreal. Another thump from Lindsey Krause. Here's the snap back. Zone read. Take the handoff. Harburg's got it. 20, 15, 10, 5, dives, touchdown, Nebraska. Controlled by the Huskers. Again, Lindsay left pin for the match. She got it. 25-14, Huskers set 3. Sweep number 9 this year for Nebraska. And your Huskers are 15-0 and a perfect 6-0 in the Big Ten.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, kind of appropriate to hear JB's call there to end the Open. Hope you enjoyed last hour with the Cook Baylor show, Husker volleyball show there in action at home after a couple of weeks away tomorrow night against Michigan State. That's such a quirky thing. They played Michigan State last Friday. Now you turn around and play them again this. Who does that?
Yeah, it's weird. There's a few of the, and I know like you're balancing football and everything else, but it is kind of crazy that you have that quick of a turnaround of a back-to-back, and it changes some game planning, right?
Yeah,
and how you prepare, and for Michigan State and for Nebraska, it's quick turnaround to face a team like that.
That does happen occasionally in basketball where you play somebody within about a 10-day stretch. It's a little odd. 5 o'clock for pregame tomorrow night, 6 o'clock first serve. I'm really not looking forward to tomorrow night's match, but Saturday night's match with Penn State. That's a quality program, and they're playing some pretty high caliber volleyball. That ought to be fun on Saturday night. Well, speaking of fun, is it get any better than the pick segment?
When I win, then no.
Well, Jeremiah's with us. Cole's with us. I got student picks.
Well, you got
Hello,
the student
friends.
picks on time today.
Yeah, I did.
And there's a big dog.
The big dog's here. He's ready to compete.
Greg said earlier this week you're getting entirely too comfortable with that nickname.
Hey, you gave it to me. Listen, I will lean into a nickname like no one's business. Like I changed a kid's name. We had Sam Cotton when we were in school.
Yeah.
We named him Brian. And for like 3 years, to this day, people still refer to him as Brian.
Yeah.
I will lean hard into a nickname.
Well, good to have you with us. I did say earlier in the week we do have a different weekly winner tonight. So let's jump back and check out what took place last week. Maryland and Ohio State. Well, this was a really good game for 3 quarters. The Terps had the lead for a good chunk of the first half, but the Buckeyes rallied and won late. All 5 of us picked Ohio State. All 5 of us had Wisconsin. They won fairly comfortably over Rutgers. They had a big pick 6 late in the first half that flipped that game. We all had Northwestern. Howard made a comeback in the second half of that game, but the Cats get their 3rd win. I'm not sure I saw Northwestern winning 2 games this year, let alone 3. That guy's done a pretty good job in a really weird situation at Northwestern.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and the fact that they're still fighting, and Jeremiah can probably speak to this as much as anybody. I mean, you would thought they would have rolled over this season,
Right.
and now they've come back and beat Minnesota and have won a couple games. Yeah, more than what we expected, I think, going into the season.
You surprised, Jeremiah, that they've got 3 wins on the board already?
I am a little bit, but you watch that first half against Penn State, and you see an inspired football team. And I know that game didn't end the way that they wanted it to, but I really think that was kind of a turning point for them in the season of being like, listen, we know we're underdogs. We know we may be underclassed and outmatched talent-wise, but we're going to fight. We're going to embody the Fitzgerald mindset of we're going to fight every day, and they're just continuing to take that on, and they're just kind of finding ways to win gross, ugly football games.
Yeah, well, they'll be here next Saturday to take on the Huskers. All right, Purdue at Iowa. I think we were all sniffing a Boilermaker win at Kinnick, except the students. They went with the Hawkeyes, and they were the only ones to get that right. And here's Iowa, 5-1.
And it's not like, has any of their wins, have any of them been pretty? They've all been ugly, right?
Pretty much.
I mean,
they can't score. They can't score. They just their offense is anemic.
Yeah, but I mean that defense and their special teams. They say you got to play all three phases. Apparently not in Iowa.
No,
they just get 2. They're 5-1. So only the students got that pick right. Michigan rolled Minnesota last Saturday night. We all went with the Wolverines. OU, Texas. Well, we were split on this one. Jessica, you and Cole. Boomer Soonered it, and you got the late touchdown to win.
What a great game, though. Incredible game. And I told you guys, crazy things happen in that game. And I don't think that's the last time we'll see those teams match up. I think there could be another matchup with a lot more on the line later on in the season.
I will say Jessica was fairly humble over the weekend. I thought we were going to get a ton of texts and fired at us with the boomers and the cart and the whole bit. So she knew what she picked. She picked it, and she knew she was right.
I know. I'm not like the other guy that's the current winner. I don't rub it in people's faces until the end of the season when I'm winning.
Says the woman who owns a crown. Says the woman who owns a crown.
I said at the end of the season when I've won.
All right, now the out-of-conference picks from last week. This was a tough one for me. Washington State at UCLA. I'm a big fan of Washington State's quarterback Cam Ward, but I went UCLA. So did you, Jessica. So did you, Jeremiah. Cole and the students, so thought Washington State could win at the Rose Bowl. That did not happen. The three of us were right.
UCLA's defense is legit. I mean, we were talking about that leading up to the game, but I think in the way that they shut down Washington State is even more of a solidifying point that they can play some pretty good defense there, those Bruins.
All right, Alabama at Texas A&M. We were split on this one as well. Jessica, you, me, the students, roll tide. Jeremiah, you and Cole take A&M.
I tried to. I got to try and crawl back in this thing, and I took some games that I thought maybe had a chance. Texas A&M to try and get back at Jessica, but it was really wasn't even that close. Alabama really just kind of controlled that game from the start, which was unfortunate.
Searles, I am not the leader. Greg is the leader. So why are you coming at me?
You're still target number one. You're target number one. Listen, you're 2-year runner. You're back-to-back champ. I'm not. No, you are target.
Greg's like 9 games ahead of you. Just so you know, if you need to make up some ground, it's on him, not me.
You're within striking distance. I got some work to do to get after Greg.
Well, we all whiffed on Notre Dame. Louisville's pretty darn good. I had not watched much of them. I should have known. Jeff Brom, I'm sure glad he's out of the Big Ten. Left Purdue, go back to his alma mater. Louisville, the Cardinals still undefeated. They beat the Irish. None of us saw that coming, so we go over in that pick. We all took LSU to beat Missouri. They trailed for a good chunk of that game in Columbia, but they did come away with the victory. So, yay, team, we all got that right. So, as I said, a new weekly winner, Jessica, finally in Week 6 breaks through. She goes 8-2. The students and me go 7-3. Jeremiah, you and Cole, 6-4.
Frickin' A&M. Let me down. Fighting Manziel's couldn't pull it out.
So, the totals through 6 weeks. The Sharpe one is 63-9. Jessica is 4 games back of that at 59-13. Then it's the students who jumped to 3rd place in the standings. They're 56-16. Cole, you and Jeremiah deadlocked at 53-19.
Cole, you're just so inconsistent. You make a good pick like Oklahoma, and then you make a bad pick like.
Well, I've been with like what Jeremiah was saying earlier. How you got to take chances to get back in this, but we're taking the same chances, and we just get further behind. So.
I do have the chat winners for the week. New winner in the chat as well, Andy. Finally,
hey, good for Andy.
He kind of usually brings up the rear like Searles, but Andy got the win at 7-3. Joseph 7-3, Corn 7-3, Justin 7-3, Crypto 7-3, and Crypto is leading the chat at 58-14. Joseph is 56-16.
You know that was him that called last night.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he slipped a call in on us last night. Well, hey, so you beat the chat room, too. Nobody went over 7-3 in the chat room.
Yeah.
So, well done, Jessica. All right, here we go, Week 7. Indiana at Michigan. Jessica, or anybody see any kind of an upset in this game?
You should start with Searles because he'd be the only one that might lean towards Indiana.
You know Tom Allen. I've told you, Tom Allen's dead to me. Michigan. Michigan.
I'm also with Michigan.
Cole, you good with Michigan?
Michigan, yep.
So are the students. All right, Jeremiah, I'll come to you for this one. Ohio State at Purdue. Now, over the last 10, 12 years, the Buckeyes have stumbled a couple of times at Ross-Ade Stadium, but Purdue's really beat up. You got any inkling of an upset in this one?
No, I think Ohio State's starting to hit stride a little bit. You know, Maryland fought them. They fought back against Notre Dame. They've had some really hard-fought wins. They're starting to find themselves on offense a little bit more. Give me the Buckeyes.
Okay. Cole, you good with Ohio State?
Yep, I am.
OHIO?
Yep. Same for me.
All 5 of us, OHIO. All right, Michigan State at Rutgers. Rutgers actually favored in this game. And Cole, Rutgers, we had them on the Blitz the other night. They have a chance to pick up their 5th win of the year. How about Michigan State Rutgers?
I'm going to go Sparta here. I think they finally have a week where some things go in their favor.
The students are not on board with you. They're going Scarlet Knights. I like Rutgers. I just think they're more sound. I think it's still a train wreck right now in East Lansing. So give me the Scarlet Knights to pick up win number 5.
I'm with you. I got Rutgers as well in this one.
Jeremiah.
Same. Give me the Knights, baby.
Okay, so Cole is swimming up tide in that game. All right, Penn State, Massachusetts. I'll start with this one. I think the Nittany Lions are good in this game. I like them.
Hot take there, Greg. I'm also
really going out on
State.
a limb.
Anybody thinking the Minutemen have a chance?
Negative.
Penn State.
Okay. All right, Jessica. Illinois, who we just saw last Friday, at Maryland, coming off their first loss of the year. How about the Illini bounce back on the road?
I do not think so. Maryland and that offense going to roll. I got the Turtles at home.
Illinois can't score. I mean, they showed it against Nebraska last week. They had opportunities to go down there time and time again. They can't move the football. Reggie Love, I don't know if he's going to be back, so they're down to really one running back on that team and the true freshman. So I like Maryland, too. They've got a lot of weapons on offense.
Cole?
Going with Maryland as well.
All right, and the students say Turtles, and I fear the Turtle as well, so we all go with Maryland. All right, Jeremiah, save this one just for you. Iowa at Wisconsin. First one to 10 wins this game? What do you think?
You know, I'm going to go Wisconsin in this game. I think that they have more weapons on offense. They need to figure it out. Iowa's defense is great, but their just inability to score. I mean, it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be first one to 17 wins this football game, but I like Wisconsin beating them there.
Cole?
Go with the Badgers.
Students go with the Badgers. I do as well. It's interesting that Iowa's now, their quarterback now, was at Wisconsin. He was like the third-string quarterback. Now he's the starter for the Hawkeyes because of the injury to Cade McNamara. If McNamara were healthy, I would give them a pretty good shot in this game, but Wisconsin's got enough offense to win this one. Give me the Badgers.
I'm with you. I think they can get it going. They're pretty balanced, too. I mean, we talk a lot about Braylon Allen, but they can also throw the football, so I think Wisconsin's going to eke this one out.
Gives them a nice leg up in the West if they do win this game. All right, let's get out of conference. Cole, we'll start with you on this one. A Pac-12 battle pool. This was one that was tough for me to pick. Oregon at Washington.
It's going to be a great game. I'll take the Huskies. I'll go Washington. Not by much, though.
I think the spread is 3. The students are with you. This one, to me, it's at Washington. That gives them a little bit of a leg up, and I'm a huge Michael Penix fan. I took that from Andrew. So I'll go Huskies, but, man, this is worth watching on Saturday.
I think I'm going to roll with Oregon. I think I was going to go with Washington, but this was back and forth for me, and I know they're at home, but I think Oregon's got some firepower that can keep up, so I'm going to go with Oregon.
I mean, I think back to this game last year, and it was just a track meet. It was literally just who had the ball last. And if I'm looking at the track meet, I got to go Huskies. You know, I think Penix and that offense is just more physical than Oregon's offense right now. And I still can't get that Texas Tech should-have-lost game against Oregon out of my brain. So I got to go Washington.
That's fair. All right, so Jessica, you're the one swimming upstream in this game. All right, back to the Irish. God, we've had them on a bunch lately, but they've been involved in some really tight games. Coming off their first loss, here comes USC, who just escaped an upset bid last week from USC.
I'm going to go Irish. I think they bounce back from the loss. They're at home. It's going to be some cold, wet weather. I don't think the Trojans will like that. Give me the Irish in this game.
I'm going with USC. I'm going with the best player on the field, and Caleb Williams. And I know it's not. They kind of have some sleepy quarters or sleepy stretches of games, but they find ways to win, and they've got the best player in college football, arguably, and he's a winner. So I'm not going to go against him.
Jeremiah.
I think Notre Dame is hungover right now. They've had 5 night games in a row, I believe it is, and all of them super emotional, win at the last second, lose at the last second type of games. I think they're a little hungover right now. You know, their running back Estime, I think, is hurt. He's not looking the same. I'm going to take SC in this game just because I think Notre Dame's a little let down too because they know they're not making the playoff anymore. That's a 2-loss team. Like they're not fighting for the playoffs like they have been. I think they're in for a letdown. I think SC wins this one.
Oh boy, Cole, you might be the tiebreaker.
Has Notre Dame played undefeated teams for 4 weeks straight?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes a toll on you.
They're going to be tired. I'll go Trojans.
My goodness. Okay. And the students are there as well. I'm the only one on the Irish side. Look at the Irish. Look out for that one on Saturday night. All right. Another game, Jessica, that I really was up and down on, UCLA at Oregon State.
I've got UCLA. I mean, I think they are going to put some pressure on DJ, and DJ's going to throw it away, and I've got the Bruins.
Jeremiah?
Give me Oregon State. I'm telling you, I like the Beavers to win the Pac-12. I've said it for a while now, but when you talk about a team that can get after the quarterback, they have 2 NFL tackles and an NFL center. That's how you neutralize some of those pressures. I like the Beavers.
Okay. Cole?
I'll go with the Beavers.
Students are also with the Beavers, as am I. I know DJ Doodoo is a guy that is injured, is turnover prone, but I'm a huge Jonathan Smith fan. I think they're going to have a hard time hanging on to him now that they're not going to be in a power conference. They're not going to be able to pay Jonathan Smith. I think he's going to be one of the hot commodities in the coaching market. I think they hold serve at home and win against UCLA, but it should be a fun game.
Cyril, you missed it because you were not in last year. That's what we called him.
I mean, I'm sure there was something there, but just hearing Greg call him that it brings a smile to
I was going to skip it this week, and Greg went there. I was going to not call him that, but Greg brought it up.
It's always on me. All right, Tennessee, Jeremiah hosting A&M, coming off that loss to Alabama last week.
You know, I think it's similar to Notre Dame. I think A&M's going to have a little bit of a hangover here. I like Tennessee.
Okay, Cole?
I also like Tennessee.
Rocky Top for the students as well. I'll go that way as well. I've not seen a lot of Tennessee. I've not been overly impressed with some of their scores, but I think A&M put a lot on the line to try to beat Bama. They come up short. It's hard to bounce back off of that. Give me the Vols.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure on Jimbo in this one too. But I got to go with the home team here. I mean, if you're talking about a coin flip, I'm going to go with Tennessee at home. It's hard to play there at Rocky Top.
All right, Cole, I'm coming to you. Let's go to the Big 12. The Kansas Jayhawks, who have really got off to a good start. They may not have their starting quarterback again this week. It sounds like his back is still a problem. They go to Oklahoma State, coming off a win over K-State. How do you see this one?
If they've got their QB, I'll go Kansas. I'll gamble on Kansas here.
Okay. The students are also with the Jayhawks, as am I. I think even the Bean's the backup, but he's been a starter in the past for him, and Lance has that offense just humming. They do some really creative things. If you've not watched Kansas on the offensive side, you need to. They're putting on clinics week after week. Give me the Jayhawks to win on the road.
I'm with you. I mean, even though they don't have Jalen Daniels, even though he's doubtful, that Oklahoma State quarterback, they've had so many issues at their quarterback spot, and just because they beat Kansas State, I'm sorry, Greg, I don't think Kansas State's very good at this point, so I don't know if you can hang your hat on the fact that they beat Kansas State last week. So I've got Kansas. I think they roll in there and win in Stillwater.
Yeah, let's clean sweep this. I'm with you guys. Rock chalk.
Man, I really thought somebody might jump on.
They're too inconsistent on offense.
Yeah.
They're just all over the place.
All right, we'll finish with this. Miami at North Carolina. Did you all see the end of the Miami-Georgia Tech game?
Unfortunately.
Fireable offense.
Right?
Fireable offense.
All right, Cole. Oh, no, Cole picked the last one, so this is back to me. I'm going Carolina. I don't know why the spread is so close. It's like a 2-point spread.
Because Carolina's defense is so bad.
I guess, because when something looks kind of odd, somebody knows something. I'm tempted to take Miami to be mad and bounce back, but I can't do it. I'm going to go with Mac Brown on the heels.
Yeah, and quarterback, I mean, they've got the best I go back to that argument that I just had about USC. They're going to have the best player on the field, North Carolina, and that quarterback Drake May. So I'm going to go with the Tar Heels as well.
Yeah, Drake May's special. He's playing at a super high level, and when you lose a game in the fashion in which Miami lost that game, there's some discontent in the locker rooms afterwards, and those things kind of tend to linger a little bit. So give me the Heels.
Folks, if you haven't seen the ending, you got to go. It's just ridiculous. All right, Cole, you're going to make it a clean sweep?
I'm not.
Oh!
Go Miami, but they need to play smart.
They need.
I like it.
Cole's already getting his joke of the weekend.
It better be better than last week. All right, so we do have some. I was afraid we were going to be too lined up. We've got some differences this week. This will be fun.
We do. There's some good games on, though.
There are really good games, yeah. Big Dog, enjoy the weekend. No Husker football.
No Huskers. I'm heading to Cincinnati, watch the Bengals play, so I will be back on Tuesday.
Nice. Talk to you next week. Again, our Big Ten picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. They have offices in Lincoln and in Columbus. We're back. Jessica's going to take us down memory lane, and then an installment of the 100-year podcast looking back at great moments in Memorial Stadium history. That's coming up next.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Something big is happening. Introducing Hy-Vee Perks. Now, Hy-Vee Fuel Saver is Hy-Vee Perks. Get the same great benefits like fuel savings. Plus, save even more on hundreds of products store-wide with Hy-Vee Perks prices like Tide. H Perks price, $9.97. And bananas. H Perks price, 39 cents a pound. Make the switch or sign up for Hy-Vee Perks and start saving today. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, We're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
As a fan, you wear your jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. There's a place for people like you. The Cox Fan Zone. Play NFL Pick'em and Collegiate Pick'em for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card each week, or even a $500 Visa gift card grand prize.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe. Say Fan Zone in your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Big Red.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody, and this season we're celebrating 100 years inside Memorial Stadium, and we started a podcast series through these gates, revisiting some of the most memorable and legendary games that were played here inside the stadium over the last 100 years. And so today we are going back to October 29th, 1994. Number 2, Colorado versus number 3, Nebraska. Both teams unbeaten. And the national media narrative was that Nebraska didn't have a chance because they would be without Tommy Frazier. And so facing up against Cordell Stewart, who was a Heisman Trophy favorite at the time, Heisman Trophy frontrunner, but Brooke Behringer had himself a day. So here is Damon Benning, who's a running back on that team, and Ron Brown, who was an assistant coach, as they retell the stories of that day.
I remember that game so vividly, and it's one of my favorite games of all time, partly because I recruited Brooke Behringer. And Brooke, of course, had taken over for the injured Tommy, who was dealing with the blood clots. I remember it not only for the game itself, but for the two quarterbacks that played in that game. Cordell Stewart for Colorado, and Brooke Behringer. Back in, it was just a few years before that game, both of those guys were in high school. Cordell was the top-rated high school run-pass quarterback in America, USA Today All-American. Brooke Behringer was in obscurity out in western Kansas. Not many people knew about him. We decided that we wanted Brooke Behringer, and I remember a lot of people saying, "What? Brooke Behringer over Cordell Stewart?" And, you know, Cordell had a lot of places to go, but Coach Osborne was convinced that Brooke Behringer was our guy. And even though the fans were kind of like, I don't know about that, look back on it, Cordell never beat us. And that was the head-to-head battle that I remember, you know, during the recruiting wars. That head-to-head battle, Brooke Behringer versus Cordell Stewart, I had that in my mind that day.
So 8-0 Nebraska against 7-0 Colorado. The winner would be in the driver's seat for a potential number 1 ranking, the Big 8 crown, and the Orange Bowl. Stewart and the Buffaloes came in boasting the nation's number 2 offense, averaging over 40 points and 500 yards per game. First in the Big 8 in total offense, second in passing and rushing. After trading a pair of punts to start, the Huskers would get on the board first on a 14-yard score from fullback Corey Schlesinger with 5:47 in the first. And from there, the Huskers would dominate the first half. The black shirts were stifling. Colorado's first 4 drives resulted in 3 punts and a missed field goal. The Buffaloes did not manage a first down until under a minute in the first quarter. The Huskers added a field goal to go up 10-0, and with under a minute left in the first half, on first and goal, Clinton Child's touchdown would give the Huskers a 17-0 lead at the half.
Offensively, we had our way. And it was a thing of beauty. Coach Osborne called a great game. We ran some traps to Corey Schlesinger. We hit the tight ends across the middle on some. We play actioned them with some ISO action because we knew their linebackers were going to be downhill guys, and they were attacking our running backs on ISO plays. And so there was the safeties and the corners were deep, and so there was a natural hole right behind, right in the second level. So our tight ends, Mark Gilman, Eric Alford, were catching little kind of short, dunk routes right over the middle of the field for huge gains.
The Huskers' first drive of the second half would be highlighted by Brooke Behringer's 30-yard touchdown pass to Eric Alford as Nebraska took a 24-0 lead. Along with that passing touchdown, Behringer would finish 12 of 17 with 142 passing yards.
The way we threw the ball, Brooke just shined. I think that was probably the game where everybody in America could look out and say, that kid right there, that number 18 kid right there, he's a different kind of a Nebraska quarterback. He can run the ball pretty good, but he's a great thrower. He's a beautiful thrower. And I think both of them showed up that day.
He was just cool. He was so Brooke. He didn't get rattled. Colorado really struggled to convert third downs. I don't know if they converted a third down in that game. They may have been over, but as we kept getting stops on defense, he just kind of settled down. They had a really hard time running the ball. And like I said, without them having the ability to extend drives, it started to really play to his strengths because he was just kind of a cool customer by nature.
But there was a fire inside that guy. And it was a determination to want to prove that I can handle this. He had waited his turn. He had been tempted to want to transfer. We had had other quarterbacks that transferred when Frazier had come in. They said, oh, we're not beating out Frazier. But Brooke hung in there. And to see the grit and the grind and all of that work kind of, flourish that day, overflow into that performance, which let everybody know, hey, they have a quarterback that could win a national championship for them.
Colorado would finally get on the board with just over a minute left in the third quarter. The Buffaloes would finish with 314 yards of offense, but most of those coming after the game was well in hand for the Huskers. Colorado was 0 for 11 on third downs, 0 for 15 on third and fourth down tries, and to the roars of Memorial Stadium.
Well, it was deafening. I mean, there were some times where that thing was, we'd gotten another stop and, you'd hear Hell's Bells play and that place would just light all the way up.
Cordell Stewart was shut down. Those receivers, Michael Westbrook, they were shut down that day. They shut him down early, first of all. I thought that was really important. Rashad Salam got off to a slow start. I don't think Cordell Stewart ever got off to a really good start that day. I think that was one of the worst games that I've seen him play. I mean, he struggled. And so I think we did a good job of not giving up big plays. We were a little bit of a rubber band defense as the game went on. We gave up some yards. Again, Salam might have gotten 100 yards by the end of the third quarter, but we never let them get out of hand. We never let them put a lot of points on the board. Disappointingly, on the other side of the ball, even though we had started off great offensively, we kind of laid an egg in the second half. We didn't really do much. It was just kind of a back and forth punt, back and forth game. It never really got close. We had enough distance to win the game. So, there were things that we wanted to work on, but against a really good, very talented, arguably as talented a team as there was in college football, Colorado, we did well.
And with the 24-7 victory over Colorado, Nebraska would win their first game over a top 5 opponent since 1987. And the Huskers took the driver's seat to the Orange Bowl. CU quarterback Cordell Stewart after the game said, quote, "This was the Orange Bowl game. We're not going, and they are." Eventual Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salam said, "Tell the guys from Nebraska to go get that national championship because they deserve it." And that they did. The win over Colorado propelled Nebraska to a Big 8 title, and with a 24-17 win over Miami in the Orange Bowl, a national title.
So the cool thing was Coach Osborne always brought it back to what he had told us all year. He said, you got to win the games at home and beat conference opponents, and if you do that in this conference, that will put you in national championship contention talk. So both of those things kind of happened, right? Colorado's in our conference. It was a home game. We had to win it at home. So all the words that he would tell us all year were represented in that football game, because he never talked about getting to championships. He talked about doing the little things in the meantime that would put you in position to win a championship. So that was huge. I felt like the national media finally was going to give us a little bit of credit for kind of the journey that we had been through, because it wasn't easy playing without arguably your best player all year long, and it was a lot of sum of the parts for us just to be a part of the good on the good end of history, right? Because people got to remember, you know, Nebraska hadn't had a ton of success when it came to winning big games on that stage up until that point. So that was just kind of one more step in the stepping stone of what was to come of that 1994 season. And so getting over the hump on that one on the national stage was a big one.
You know, if you really look back on that season, we were down to our 5th string quarterback. There's no way we should have won the national championship that year. And I teased Coach Rule about this because he was playing for that 1994 Penn State team, who was neck and neck with us, back and forth as to who was the #1 team in the country. And, you know, if you just look at Nebraska based on, I don't know if they can get it done, man. They're down to their 5th string quarterback. Will Frazier come back? And this, that, and the other. That's what made that season so dramatic. Our backup players, the Matt Turmans of the world, the Monte Cristos of the world, not just Brooke Berenger, but those other quarterbacks. And it showed you the depth and what was built in this program. It was a development program. It wasn't just about the starters. The way we practiced, a lot of players practice. We have very few players standing around in practice. Everybody, the way Coach Osmond set it up, there's so many different stations. Everybody is improving. Everybody's getting better. And so these young men, when they get into their situations where they got to answer the bell, they were ready to do it because of repetitions and training. That's what I appreciated about not only that season, but the system that we had. Without that system, it wouldn't have happened.
Thanks again to Woodhouse for helping us celebrate 100 years of Memorial Stadium. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. That full podcast is out now on all of our podcast platforms, also on our YouTube channel as well, if you want to listen to that right now. And yeah, thanks to Damon and Ron Brown for sharing those stories. Always fun to go back and revisit those. It was a lot of fun to get to put that together. So we'll have much more on this series coming up as we continue to celebrate 100 years inside Memorial Stadium. We've got to step aside for a break here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
For 47 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been family owned and operated. We'll treat you like family and focus on providing you the best buying experience possible. Visit us in Fremont to shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pre-game tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City. Osceola Implement and Kearney Equipment to enter, and you may win this season. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Greg Sharpe took off a little early here, so it's just me, and it's a good thing because he's threatened every week since he actually implemented it to take away this segment, but we have to please the people. So it is that time of the week for Cole's Joke of the Week, and you ran a couple by me, but I think you've narrowed one down, right?
I think I have. I don't know. It's not Halloween themed, unfortunately.
I thought you were going to do that.
I thought I was too, but turns out there's not many good Halloween jokes, I guess.
Which, by the way, should mention, last week, it was a little bit of a roller coaster. It was up and down. You had a 10, you had a 4, you had a little bit, it was a little inconsistent. But Greg challenged you to have a better week this week. So
Yes.
what do you got for us?
We'll try it. I was at the grocery store today, and I thought to myself, what if soy milk is just regular milk introducing itself in Spanish?
I like it because I like soy milk.
There you go.
So I like it. All right, folks, let us know. What do you think?
Please be
Cole's
kind,
joke
people.
of the week. What?
I said, please be kind, people.
Well, I feel like that was an improvement off of last week.
Thank you.
Let us know. Hit us up on our Woodhouse Auto Family text line 402-413-2400. Also, the chat, they get super involved in this every single week, too. So on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline, Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Got to give a huge shout out to Husker Soccer today. We talked to Florence Belzil last night, and she had another assist, and the Huskers win 3-0 over the Terrapins. And shout out to our former
intern here, Sammy Hawk, with her 4th shutout. But this is a big one. You know, we talked to Florence last night about how, you know, there's 4 games left, and they could be anywhere from right now. And with that win tonight, they're second in the standings in the Big Ten. And so their RPI is super high, but there's still a lot to play for, a lot on the line. And so for them to win that game, again, really continuing to close out the season and build a resume, I think they're pretty well solidly into the NCAA tournament. I think especially if they win one of their last 3, I think they're in. But, you know, they're high enough in the RPI. And so I think this is a postseason team, and so I can't wait to see it. They've got one more home game after today. They had to move it forward because of the inclement weather. I haven't even checked the radar, Cole. Hopefully we're not about to get rained or hailed on over here, but they moved it to this afternoon, so big afternoon performance at Hibner Stadium. So congratulations, and oh, by the way, Eleanor Dale scored her 20th and 21st goals of the season. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing that she continues to do what she's done. And, you know, we heard Flo talking last night about how teams can't key in on her because they've got a player like Sarah Weber, who also had a goal here today. So, yeah, Eleanor Dale is the nation's leading goal scorer. I don't think anybody's going to catch her, and she's going to rack up a lot of postseason accolades. But, yeah, 3 games left now on the season, 1 more at home. So, again, congratulations to Huskers soccer. 3-0 win, 3-0 win, right, Cole?
Neil.
3-0 win over Maryland here this afternoon. All right, we got to step aside for our final break here on Sports Nightly. AAA Nebraska is giving away the ultimate away game experience. The Huskers road game getaway includes 2 tickets to the Nebraska-Michigan State football game on November 4th in East Lansing, Michigan. The winner will also receive a $2,500 AAA travel gift certificate to cover flights, hotel, and other travel accommodations. Enter the contest at huskers.com/AAA football getaway. Again, that's huskers.com/AAA football getaway. Expect something more with AAA. We're back to wrap up the show coming up next. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henry's is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final segment here of Sports Nightly, final show of the week, as we've got volleyball coming up for you tomorrow night. Cole, the ratings are rolling in for you. We got Tim in Minnesota said 7. Jim in Columbus said it was bueno, Cole, 6. Carla gives you an 8.95. And Art in Los Angeles gives you a B. 4 hours to Lincoln, 7 on the chat. And Crypto King says a 7.5 for content and a 9 for delivery.
It's a good night.
I believe this is pretty solid,
That's,
you know?
Yep, that is solid.
For bad jokes to have 7s and some 8s, I mean, that's pretty good. It was an improvement from last week. I thought it's funny because I like soy milk and almond milk and all of that, so I actually thought it was pretty funny. You had David helping you out this week, right?
I did. I run these by the interns, so I try to not make a fool of myself by running it by them, because they're all hip and, you know, they get what's funny, I guess.
So you are about to take off. You're about to get out of town for the weekend. Does it feel weird not having a football game to prepare for?
Does feel a little strange. Bye week for the players and a bye week for us to a certain extent. Yep.
Yep. So we will have the weekend off. We have volleyball coming up for you. 5:00 p.m. the pregame show. 6:00 against Michigan State. We talked about this a little earlier. How kind of weird it is that Michigan State Huskers just played a week ago. So 7 days, and we talked a lot about that on the Dig with Lindsey Peterson this week. If you missed that episode, it's out now. But, you know, she kind of dove into the previewing of the weekend with Michigan State and Penn State and said that it is different, that they'll go back, but it's easier, but also harder because you know the team so well, the preparations, but now you saw them in person. So, you know, other rather than just on film, but both teams will be making tweaks and a little chess moves. So it will be a fun matchup there, and glad to be back inside Devaney after having back-to-back road games weekends. So 5:00 there, the pregame show. 6:00 is the first serve against Michigan State, and then Saturday back inside Devaney against Penn State. 6:00 pregame for that one. 7:00 first serve on that one. So should be a fun weekend of volleyball. Cole, which are you going to be watching much football?
I'll try to. I particularly really want to watch Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
That's just going to be like it'll feel like a Big 12 game with the amount of offense going on.
I can't believe I was the only person that picked Oregon in that
I can't believe it either. I don't know. It'll be a fair fight.
Hopefully, I continue to win the week and I follow up another performance with another one. But
Don't get carried away.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys listening all week, and that will do it for us here on Sports Nightly for the week. We'll be back on Monday with full-on practice report. We'll have the Dig, all that kind of good stuff. So we, have a bye weekend here, but lots of volleyball action coming up for you here on the Huskers Radio Network. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday on Sports Nightly. Thanks to Cole and David, by the way. Have a great weekend, Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close.
Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or